Hello Year 12 and welcome to our fifth video here for our first topic. In our last exercise we were looking at investing in shares and because these are fairly significant investments and that they change in value very regularly, then some of this information might be presented as tables or graphs. It used to be quite common to see these in the newspapers. With the digital age, I suppose we see less of it than we used to, but nonetheless we've got some examples here and we'll see how it goes. So first up here, let's find the market price of Viva Energy shares. So here's my table, Viva Energy, my last sale, right? That's going to be my market price, right? The last time somebody bought shares in Viva Energy, they paid $2.24 per share. So that's the market price, $2.24. Now, what share was 27 cents lower than the day before? Well, this column here is telling us the change. So I'm after something that has a negative 27. Right, and that's BHP. So we'll write that up. Now, what was the price of Westfield shares the day before this table? Well, I don't have yesterday's table, but today finished at $7.93 for Westfield, and that's up 5 cents. So yesterday it must have been $7.88. Rightio, $7.88 means that when it goes up by 5 cents, it finishes at $7.93. Now, what shares had the lowest price in the last 52 weeks? Well, these two columns over here on the right show us the highest and lowest prices for that stock over the last 52 weeks. So we're after the lowest low. So the smallest number in this column here is going to be is 81.6 cents, right? 0.816 for shares in Myer. And I'll put in brackets here, $0.80, well, I'll say 816. I know we normally round to two decimal places, but if we're trading in shares and we're buying 1,000 or 10,000 or something, then that decimal place has some significance. And finally, the share that sold the least on this day. Now we're talking about volume, how many shares were sold. So we've got this number here, this is in hundreds. The smallest number in this column is 2,168. Now if that's hundreds, then it's going to be 216,800. Okay, so that's our share table. Let's have a look at another example here with some graphs. Now, I have some share graphs here that show 4 different stocks and how their share price has changed over the last few months. So, BAN shares, the highest there, right? It looks like it is possibly just above $26. In fact, I'm going to say $26 though. Right, it's hard to tell, but that's BAN, that's the highest that it's reached at any stage. What's the lowest price reached by Robobank? Well, here's Robobank, the lowest, I reckon that's right at the end. That's the lowest it's got to over that period. And in fact, it tells us that it closes at $25.61, so I can be a bit more specific there. $25.61. Now, when you're looking at these things, it's important to notice we have what's called a truncated vertical axis. It doesn't go down to 0. So it's not as though they've lost all of their value, okay, because that's not a 0 at the bottom. What was the range of prices of NCM to the nearest dollar? Well, I reckon NCM has a low of about $12.50 and a high of about 19. Right, I think that's my range. So 19 minus 12.50 equals $6.50. Oh, geez, what's going to be closer to? It says to the nearest dollar. I'm going to say, let's make that a 13. Let's make it a $6 range. Okay? It's hard to be exact, and that's always the nature of dealing with graphs, is that, right, they have their benefits. You can see trends more easily, but you lose some of the precision. Now, describe the performance of Robobank shares over the period. Describe them. Okay, Robobank shares, what have they done? They fell through October, November, followed by a small rebound in late November, before falling again consistently to the middle of January. So Rabobank shares fell through late October and early November, then experienced a small, brief, oops, that's back front, isn't it? Brief recovery, then fell again. Okay, now that's a bit of a description. And two similarities between the four graphs. Well, they have all fallen sharply in the first half of November. Is it fair enough to say that? They've all fallen sharply. Oops, just make sure I don't. They've all fallen sharply in early November, before stabilising since. Okay, so that's two things. So they fell sharply over this period here, and while they may have continued to fall over that period here, right, this section here afterwards is a lot more stable. That, yes, they're going up and down, but they're sort of, when they go up, they tend to come back down to where they were. When it goes down, it's roughly gone back up to where it was. We could probably say they've all continued to fall, but at a slower rate. That would be accurate enough as well. We're talking in a general sense here. Anyway, that's it for share tables and graphs. As you'll see, there's a lot less calculation here and a lot more analysis of trends and patterns. Right, if you've got any questions, you know what to do. Jot them down, ask me in class or your classroom teacher. I'll see you next time.